So there's a lot of reading in school, especially within the, and so there's a simple idea, and the idea is to turn cases and textbooks into audio. You can listen to, from the school or wherever you're at. Anyone with Dr. A? So, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. And by the way, who stroked? I was going to do. Okay. Someone was here when I came up with that idea too, right?
Which idea was it?
I'm just making it. No, I was in Jay Barney's class. I was thinking to myself, why doesn't anyone do all these cases and stuff in audio 2x?
Okay, sorry.
So, okay.
So we actually
what's the Dr. A joke? I don't get it.
So he just gives a lot of cases.
Yeah, it's not a joke. It's just 8 hours a week.
It's a lot of it. So, but it's interesting stuff. I think for me, I thought it was all interesting. I wanted to get to all of it, but I didn't.
So the problem is, some classes actually have reading that you want to read, but you're totally slaughtered with reading, and if you couldn't not read it, somehow get it, that would be good, but you can't.
Right. And they don't have the major thing, just
download. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, whether you want to or whether you are compelled to.
Got it.
So that's the simple idea. Is business minded people, obviously we're about efficiency, so figure out what to do with all of them. The idea, and it doesn't just apply, of course, to business school, any undergrad or any type of. So that's the basic idea.
So the one thing that was cool, and that we kind of skipped over, is we had awesome ideas. We all had really great ideas we all loved. And this is one that we can all really gather around. Because I don't know if you guys want to do this, but there would be 6 people that want this thing. So we knew we had to build an audience. So here's your quality view thing, right? And then at the very end of this thing, it'll give us our primary answer. We'll wait for 30 seconds.
The best part about being a professor is now next term, I'm going to use this, have all my students do it, learn how to do it. I'll look like a genius, and it's all in the back of you guys. My entire academic career has been nothing but just one semester advance, taking all the aggregate smarts that come out of my classes. And everyone's like, oh, you're a forward-thinking professor. Is it totally genius? I'm like, yeah.
This is the second question, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, can you go back? So I'm living this problem right now, which is when it's Thursday, I have a behavioral econ class at Duke that I'm taking. I haven't done any of the reading. I know that there's recommended reading and then there's required reading. So of course that means I don't do any of the recommended reading. Right? I don't do that. I just wash that out. That's not going to get done. But I only do the required reading. And I feel terrible. So the first thing, I feel terrible about that. Then the required reading I rush through, and to be candid, I'm doing quizzes, weekly quizzes, because it's a totally lame class with weekly quizzes. So I'm just reading the abstracts and then putting them all up, and then when I do the quiz online, I just go to the thing and answer the questions in real time. So I'm not even reading the material.
So you can take it for about 5 minutes.
Oh, I don't even know what they were. Sorry, Daniel. Yeah. This is true. But this is totally, I'm living this life, and it sucks massively. And I feel terrible about that. Then there's 1.5 hours of lecture on video that isn't converted to audio, and I can't get at it, and I'm not listening, and I struggle to do that. That's stage 2. It's just video. I'm totally living this thing. I just got back into taking an online course. I'm utterly empathetic to what you guys are going through, because your entire MBA experience is the experience of going, I'm not getting everything I could get out of my education, and I know from the moment I start, I wipe out all the recommended reading, and I only focus on this stuff, and I just skim it, and it sucks.
Yeah, I actually tried to turn Matt's YouTube channel on and do stuff. right, third one.
Um, hmm. Because my choices here are, I'm trying to make sure I get it because I want to answer this correctly, which is important. So I'm asking you to compare how much would I pay for a textbook on available on Amazon. Okay. And so I pay for it. And y'all like that. And what's interesting, so you've given me like, that's a business, it's not a pricing question, it's a business model question. Yeah, got it. That's clever. So you'll notice that just as a learning device, this is a business model question hidden as a pricing question. We already know that we're not going to know the pricing, but we can figure out what business is going to do. Now I'm very curious to see what you guys are doing. All totally different businesses. You know how you test this in goodness and structure. That would make everyone really mad. You do like a pirate bay. Like it makes people so freaking mad. It's awesome.
You have some folks that I thought All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. What's this? Yeah. So this is our process to do with this. I'm going to get into 4 things to kind of figure out what to do, how to do, what's going on. The first thing is our survey. So when our survey, we went through it, we asked a bunch of people and said, hey, come on, do you know Google surveys? And this is really cool. So here's the first thing that I like. Like the whole EV, we said, what do you like? We put a bunch of things out. What do you think is good? Now, we actually have like, that's not like a percentage, like 80% said leadership, then like 75% said management, so you'd answer multiple times. But both these are good and they're very indicative. And here's what we get that was wrong. Here's our answers for the book. Just don't leave the field open. There's like, you have to cross it, there's no way to get a good dashboard and abstract of it. And so I would recommend choosing your questions more carefully. I mean, we thought it was really good, like, hey, how much did you charge? And, like same as above. Now I have to figure out which one they said.
What is the above?
I don't have any idea. Don't cost me, So, by the way, when we sent these out, I did get some emails back. Like my brother-in-law's got a videos he did. He's like, dude, if you can do this, I wish I would do that because I want it. And so it's really cool to get people that are in our same team.
That's a good survey. How many of you took a survey class or you learned how to design surveys? Okay, so you took that chunk of the MBA program. Do you feel educated with someone? If you had to go like work at Bain and do a survey, would you say, yeah, man, I'm freaking badass at surveys? All right, so I'm going to guess.
Learning that class is really hard to do. Yeah, it takes hours and hours. Okay, 40 hours to do it.
And so that's kind of it. Choose your questions well. Crafting a simple question is harder than you say you get the answers you really want.
So if you're really pitching that survey, really the only thing evaluate yourself is how you're paid. So our students out there to do this. When we started to question whether or not the model was still at the students and say, what things do you have to read, what's in the audio for you. Because we need to know anything about copyright, what publishers are going to say. We need to know if professors would be okay with their students listening versus reading. So we actually, I got an interview with Dr. A, who was saying something to me. I wanted to get his input on it, and this is what he said. He said, this is the future of God. He goes, this is the future. If you don't do it, somebody else will. One of the other things that we learned was kind of analog for the model we wanted. He used to provide audio versions of all of his readings for the students. He had a student that worked, I think he said, for GE, who had software. So you have the computerized voice.
Yeah, now, let me actually interrupt for a second. We had Dr. Rick, I tried to do that, but all of his PDFs are scanned in, and so it doesn't recognize the right. So you can't do that. So
you could use an OCR.
PDF, it's actually made from the word, you can do it. If it's scanned in,
But he had lost his files, right?
Did you ask him if he would read the lectures? Because if he's doing the lectures, you can charge a huge premium.
It's on motive.
Australian, yeah.
So why? I mean, I know that's a joke, but why?
He is just so passionate about what he's talking. It's just like he just wrote in from the minute he get into his class, but he's just like, you know, he just brings in super expressive. And I know that if he was reading these things, like, he would make reading the alphabet really exciting.
Yeah, you feel bad for not reading the
That's. And by the way, you're making us sweat. I just love hearing so much grim stories about grim professors. I was just afraid this was going to go. I thought for sure I was heading into this is going to suck off ramp, but no. Like,
No,
I'm totally not surprised that Dr. Abe is like, that's the future, because it is.
Yeah. Well, and for 30 minutes I sat there with him telling me this is the way we can do it. And, regarding the publisher issue, he said most publishers, he feels that most publishers would be okay with providing an audio version so long as the physical copy is still available to students. The one caveat there was Harvard Business Review, so that's kind of they'll be the sticker. He also mentioned that a powerful way to model the bill would be to go after the professor and say what you assign. We'll make this at no charge to you available to all your students in that way if you provide the service.
what if you could do it as like a wiki? Isn't that a good way to get around different copyrights a lot of times?
Not in this.
So, I mean, that's about as far as we went into the publisher question, was how should you approach this? And he recommended that every publisher site has a contact for copyright question. He said you just reach out to them and tell them to do anything and ask what they would require. Those are the two things that I got most from the interview was that this is it's going to happen. Somebody's going to do this, whether it's us or somebody else. And that got me a lot more excited to go through it. And the other thing was that we were going to professors and telling them this is a way to improve classroom experience for the students, to help them get to those recommended readings that everybody just brushes aside because they're just not coming. And really make a difference there and improve learning.
So, you want to talk about email?
Sure.
So we tell them, hey, the best way to reach it to professors and figure out our actions we draft up a email. We went to the University of Texas and BYU and we all took 10 to school and emailed 10 professors and said, let's be all right. We sent out emails over to our company and this is what we're doing. Took the professor said, would you allow us to take your audio or take your text and put the audio and then send it to the students where so took that approach and guessing to use responses.
But again, super curious about the responses because professors are notoriously different. They won't respond, and that's going to sound like a scam. So if you got
most emails look like this. That's actually why I love it.
We got zero response, right? We got a zero response.
Oh, you had some.
we did have some. 3 out of 10 is shocking. Right? That's impressive.
Yeah, not incredibly positive, but.
No, I'm actually suggesting it is incredibly positive because I delete if it. I get 270 emails. If it doesn't have if it's not a student.
Well, and that's what we used our Utah
Which got our 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
So we're doing.
What are your responses?
One of them was 2 more I don't teach very much, so it doesn't matter to me. And then one of them was I want my students to read and not listen. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Every night it was almost like reading and understanding the concept. Because now my class is almost over. There's not enough time.
Awesome. Okay, so that's.
Like there's another.
Wednesday comes every week. Well, and then somebody else, I think the publishers too, right?
Oh yeah, that was one of mine. Yeah. Just like we had talked about it.
So from that, we kind of thought maybe this is we start with professors, maybe sit down with.
There's another side of this is that there's adjunct professors, of which Dr. Abe is I think he's a clinical professor or something, but he's non-tenured faculty. He is forever, he's a world-class instructor. But like, if you guys went through a list and you got adjunct professors who are not tenured track, they have a completely different incentive structure. And their incentives is actually like Dr. Abe, which is I actually care about the classroom, I actually care about teaching, I actually care about student outcomes. And then there's schmoes like me, we're on tenure track. And our whole focus is like minimizing the amount of effort that we spend in the classroom to like and spending all of our time trying to get tenure, and that means you get published. Right? That is it. You're published. No matter how great I'm in the classroom, it counts for nothing for tenure. So that's the other side of it. You have to know who your audience is, and those audiences have to have distinct objective functions. If you're talking to me, I'm like, dude, anything that like makes me spend a calorie not writing, that doesn't get me any closer to tenure. So and if you already have tenure, you're just asleep anyway. You have a job for life. Like no matter what you do, you can just show up to work and you'll still get paid. So
Do you guys consider bringing students and possibly doing some service?
yeah. So there's like you're thinking students doing this for other students.
Yeah, and then maybe whatever.
Here.
Yeah, I'll read this for you, and
It's a thought.
That's an interesting.
Because I mean, like I was totally good for this. Like I have problems reading. Like I don't want to read, but like I would prefer.
You can say that.
I actually told my wife that I'm going to have my wife do this for next semester. So do my son.
Well, so I think your question we got about it. It was to this point where you guys are someone who is going to be consistent not a professional,
but usually copyrights they cover that number. The copyrights now because with usually any media, you cannot just take this and distribute it without
Can I do it? Yeah, so I'm yeah, that was one of the things you learned from that survey was that it was more soft skill classes where you could manage behavioral studies, psychology, anthropology, those psychology.
Like finance, 90% of finance is just right? So hearing it might not help you that much.
And how about reading the investment leader or something?
I know that I listen to books in my car all the time, and I find that I learn that I love doing it, but I wouldn't be able to read all the stuff in my head. So sometimes it's just, maybe I only get 70%, but I get it done.
That'd be a good idea there, just so you can, I mean, if you're not listening to it at all, obviously it's better, but maybe there's some psychological workforce, but maybe that's good.
Scott, good question, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just curious, I don't think it's ever very person, but what is studies that show how long it takes to reading? I would be much more likely to listen to something.
Yeah.
So for me, there's like a great reason to, right? It's like, well, if I spend X number of hours in a row, I only have 2 hours of free time to read, why I go to the email, so it makes more sense working with the
I'll tell you from the last week, when you read from feedback at 4 a.m., it goes really slowly. So I think listening to it will go a lot faster for me.
A lot of people were listening to something on UX and graphic.
So websites, you're talking about those?
Well, yeah. So what website, one of the first things we set up, we did it almost. So we set it up kind of student facing. This was the initial idea, and we find it. It's not the best site we've ever made. But so we put it up student facing, and we do a little hash behind some AdWords to try to drive traffic to it. And there was hardly any search volume, and we got 0 conversions.
And that was below our goal.
That was below our goal. So far. And we could set up an A/B test through so we built the site with this program called Optimizing to do some A/B testing, but it doesn't really work well if you get no conversions. It's hard to figure out which one's better. And so we did that, and then when we decided that we were going to email all of the teachers, we also created a landing page for that, where a professor could go and put their course readings and then set it into a form. And we also got no conversions on that. So we did really well on that website.
So our marketing has some.
Yeah. And that could be a kind of mission. This is the end of the semester to help the students are thinking, what are we going to do this summer?
So when I put this together yesterday, I loved Craig Christensen, and I was like, I think one of the things he talks about is medical change and education change. And I didn't realize it last year he made this book with not the Henry Wright most people think of, but maybe his son.
Yeah, it's the same.
His son, okay. So he made a book about the integrated university and how education can change. So we know, hey, we're on the right track. We're doing things right. That was one of the analogs we had, and we kind of looked at that. There's all these things, Audible, there's iTunes, books, different things like that. But something needs to happen, something needs to change. Okay, ready guys? This is live. Did you see how cool this is? Because you can download the by the way, go there, that's awesome. You can download it right here. So what are we doing? 20, 21, 40. I guess what's that? Yeah, I mean, we got, we're at over 40 minutes, over 40%. So, you guys are going to probably do now. And you read a whole lot. So, yeah, that's cool. So this is kind of cool things. Here's the interesting one, right? I haven't seen these either. It's live. Absolutely. Hey, I like that. So this is actually something I would listen and I would go back and highlight it. That's what I like to do. Yeah?
I've done this because I can not read your body PDFs too.
Yeah. So who did that? Actually, this is really interesting. So it's we still have to work it out and figure out some stuff. But here's what's cool. Actually, this will calculate the market size for it as well.
Real time.
I don't know. It looks like it wouldn't fit the screen. It's 34 million billion. So,
one thing we kind of were wondering about was we want to do kind of a pilot with people that we know so that see if that'll work. But we also, there's a lot of opportunities out there that are different. We realize that the PMBAs were pretty small. Like MBAs are a small niche, right? So maybe we start there. Maybe we go off to, maybe there's English readings. I mean, there's a whole educational system out there that we haven't even talked about. So there's that. We want to meet with professors, try and get their testimonials, and then obviously just try and test out other ideas. One of the hard things that we struggled with as we did this is we kept coming up with new ideas, different things to try. And one is maybe we even just do a podcast format or anything. And so, so far we've only realized that we haven't been able to find that product market fit yet. And maybe it's like the iPad. People don't know they want it yet, but they want it, and we'll tell them if they want it. And then finally, just going on and expanding those, that material or whatever it is that we have. Let's see, is there anything else that we learned from the experience? I think one thing we did learn as a group is that 6 people is a lot to be in a group, and I think we're actually less effective because we're bigger. So in startup organizations, I'm kind of thinking, gosh, the next time we try and do something, let's kind of thin it down and come up with an actual leader that'll kind of take charge and do things, because we all kind of took charge at a different point in time, but it was almost like, oh crap, guys, it's been 2 weeks since we haven't done anything. Let's try and figure something out, And I think the importance of having a good leader in the group is huge. I mean, we're all fun. I like working with everyone, but we just didn't feel like we had a hard time doing that.
To that, I really did a great job, but it was all individual. So we didn't have cohesiveness necessarily what we could. And I think we did good. But this is more of an entrepreneurial lesson that we had a team to make sure that we didn't have it. We just kind of said, okay, well, now it's and didn't have all of it.
Yeah, and one thing too that I think that we learned is there's a huge difference between building a product and building the business. And so we didn't even, at first we tried to think, let's create an audio case. Let's just read it. And we thought, screw it. Let's just throw up a site and tell people that we'll create an audio case for them if they fill out the form. And it was a total difference because we could not find a single person that wanted to do it yet. And so distribution and actually finding the way to actually get your product out there, we've learned is huge. We haven't been able to do it yet. And we'd love to figure out how that would be possible. So.
Let's start with Dr.
Yeah.
So I think one thing that would be really interesting for you guys to think about is, so I've got two thoughts and then we should move on to the next few better ways of it. I think this is just a fairly given level of doing this is not a new guide. But so there's 2 things that I would think about. One is to find some way to demonstrate enhanced comprehension as a result of that in your pilot project. Like if you have real metrics that show not just self-reports about how I'm learning, but if you just watch people comprehend the material better somehow, that would be really important. And then I was thinking about what you were suggesting about different individuals kind of processing and having different learning styles, and putting that together with other comments. I'm probably most effective when I'm talking. When I write out material, I read material and then I have to write it out in order to understand it. It's completely conceivable to imagine that I might be someone who would be more able to, by reading things, learn more about it. So as a result, you might be able to match, like we did a student-teaching model, the opportunity to read is an opportunity for me to comprehend, and an opportunity for you to listen to me. If I'm good at learning, is an opportunity for you to comprehend. And from a marketing perspective, to allow you to take a test right at the beginning of your on your website to figure out whether I learned through talking or whether I learned through listening. And if I'm a talker, there's a role for me in your product, which is I can talk people, and there's a market for talkers, and there's also a market for listening.
That seems like an app in and of itself, just a quick diagnosis tool to figure out what works better.
I think this is really, we took out some of the analogs and analogs. Some of the good content, of course, there is out, that's awesome. There's another one called Content, and you can go and learn all sorts of stuff like that. You just go listen to it and hop up. We do have all sorts of stuff. So I think learning that way and they